You want to know why Apex is so popular? Your friends trying to get you to play? Will it respect your time and be rewarding for a casual gamer? We're about to find out. So Apex Legends is a free-to-play battle royale that has taken the genre by storm since its release. Its business model was fair, only requiring money to get the shinies, including a bunch of fear of missing out factors like a battle pass with limited time skins. The game has an incredibly well-balanced roster of characters and weapons. You start off with a selection of characters to pick from and earn currency reasonably quickly to unlock the new ones you want to try next. Every game starts with a lobby of 60 players. In ranked, this will comprise teams of 3. The assigned jump master will guide the team to a chosen location on the map, where you'll then loot gear and take out other teams as you find them. Meanwhile, the map will start shrinking in size, becoming a smaller and smaller circle, damaging anyone outside of it until only one single squad remains. Simple, right? But you might be asking yourself, how does one win? Let's break it down. When you drop as a team, you'll want to pick a location with a reasonable amount of loot that isn't hotly contested by other teams. Areas with multiple buildings usually, rather than open spaces. Generally, it's more reliable to drop away from other teams, so you can rely less on the randomness of loot distribution and more on engaging fights on more favourable terms. So you'll be paying particular attention to where other teams are landing in order to either break off to a safer location or just maintain awareness of how many teams are nearby. Before you land, it's important to split off from the rest of your teammates. This way you gather loot quicker as a team and won't waste each other's time fighting for the same gear. Gear comes color-coded, increasing in rarity and performance as you move up the tiers. Grabbing a reliable loadout at the start will keep you going long enough to fully kit yourself out with the loot from around the map. At this stage, you'll be looking out for enemy players. If there are any nearby gunfights going on, the audio will allow you to hear what direction it's coming from and roughly how far away. If you manage to spot someone, you'll use the in-game ping system to notify your team, or even voice comms if you fancy bonding a bit more with your squad. The game itself does a great job of communicating key situations, whether it's the characters themselves saying they've downed an enemy or cracking their shields.
Broke that enemy shield.
A circle around the map will close in at various intervals to a random spot within the remaining area, with a timer for the next squeeze shown on the interface. Awareness is key in this constantly changing landscape. Knowing where other teams are, along with making good assumptions about how likely they'll have to run in your direction, will lead to opportunities to catch them out in the open or be long gone before they arrive. Which side of this coin you're on really depends on how you rotate as a team. Keeping to the edge of the next circle generally protects you from being attacked from behind, allows you to engage on other teams or even get the drop on multiple teams that are already focused on fighting each other. This particular tactic is known as third partying and is the most advantageous way to engage on other teams. The other method is to work into the circle in advance. This is probably more important in the later stages of the game, where being outside of the circle deals increasing amounts of damage, and everyone has better gear. The advantage to safely being within the circle is you can claim the most favourable spots to cover being shot from all angles and pick off stragglers in the open. Particularly useful since the ranked mode changes from recent seasons reward you more than ever for making it to the last few teams. As a battle royale, the types of gunfights you'll have will vary from game to game. From deathmatch style close range run and gun, your classic mid-range gunfights, or your more tactical long-range pokes. As a team, you can either play and build a loadout to your preferences and strengths, or go for a flexible approach and adapt to the constantly changing scenarios you come across. As a squad game, being downed doesn't necessarily mean out. With the opportunity to pick up your teammates as a last stand, or even when they don't make it and turn into one of these lovely boxes, you also get a chance to bring them back into the game at a res beacon. So less chance of waiting around, picking your nose while your buddies continue with the fun. Don't pick your nose? Just me then. As the final few circles start closing in, team positioning becomes more pivotal than ever. Identifying and rotating to safe spots within the next circle will detract teams from engaging on you over others, upping your chances to place higher in the match. This will work out particularly well when there are only 3 squads remaining, forcing the circle to pull the last 2 opposing teams out of cover so you can pick them off for the dub. The ladder is made up of tiers starting from Rookie going right up to Apex Predator, a tier for the top 750 of the player base. To rise through the ranks, you need to earn ranked points, which will be a combination of your kill participation as a team and the position you place within the game. You'll spend an entry cost of ranked points to enter the match and then need to earn above that amount in order to climb. The higher your tier, the more ranked points you must commit to the entry cost, making it harder to climb as you progress. There are many nuanced mechanics and skills you should be aware of that make Apex the experience that it is. Firstly, the movement tech is second to none. There is so much freedom that it can make your character in other shooters feel a bit stuck in the mud. Sliding from sprinting or down hills and jumping out of it provides a burst of speed as well as interesting ways to keep moving while shooting at the same time. Most objects can also be climbed to get a good vantage. Add to that the use of zip lines and jump pads, and you have a lot more verticality to contend with than most other shooters. This freedom also spawned a load of mind-bending movement tech discovered by the community, which is beyond the scope of this video. But rest assured there's more to mastering the movement than most players are willing to put their effort in to learn. However, it's really not required to do decent in ranked. Next are legend abilities. The legends are split into offensive, defensive, support and recon, each with their own passive bonus, like rezzing your teammates with a robot instead of yourself having to, or your very own wall hack for rare items. A tactical, which is a reasonably short cooldown ability that might spawn a dome protecting everyone inside of it, or scan the area briefly revealing enemies within a certain range of you. And lastly, an ultimate ability, a longer, generally more meaningful cooldown that could fly your team to the safety of a better location or set up cover when you're caught out in the open. Every legend plays completely different from the next and increases your potential contributions to the game outside of just a contest of aim. And finally, the weapons themselves are all fairly easy to use. With a little practice, controlling each one will be a cinch. Hitting moving targets, on the other hand, well, that one's on you. Although I plan to present everything about being a casual competitive player in Apex in the clearest way possible, there are insane players that are worth taking a look at to see the game being played at its pinnacle. And some of my favourites are It's Timmy, a streamer who plays at a uniquely high mouse sensitivity, a master of quick flicks and movement, Imperial How, one of the most well-rounded players in the Pro League and decorated IGLs on the scene, and Lulu Lovely, the Kraber Queen who can beam like nobody's business and always keeps things chill on her stream at the same time. Watching top players gives great insight into the skill ceilings of the mechanics, but please consider the fact that these players have many thousands of hours in game, and therefore countless layers of skill above the average player that they've already put in the effort behind the scenes to overcome. This can lead to viewers having unrealistic expectations of their own skill level, and more often than not, missing out on a lot of the fundamentals to the game. I'll be following up with guides and helpful tips without skipping over these fundamentals. So join our journey of improvement that will ensure your arrival along with me amongst the top 10% of the player base, which currently is roughly high plat. A suitable goal for anyone looking to challenge themselves and achieve a good level of play while maintaining a balanced lifestyle. So stay tuned to the channel. Well, I hope that's helped you decide if this game is for you or not. When it comes to mistakes, missing shots or making bad decisions, just remember this is a game. We're here for fun, so if it stresses you too much, cool off, touch grass, and when you do play, play to win.